Namaste and welcome to today's episode. A lot of time our body tells us what is happening inside. When I say this, I mean when your body type, the way your body looks tells a lot about what is happening in your body. Now this is not exactly to be followed to the T, but this gives you an idea. And once you have an idea, once you are educated, once you are empowered about it, you are then inspired to make those changes. Now there are three basic major body types, and we're talking predominantly about females. There is one body type which we call an apple body type. Your arms and your shoulders and your thighs are normal, but your mid torso is heavy. Okay. The second is what I call as a pear shape. A pear shape is when your upper body, your waist, and your upper bust is normal, but there is a lot of fat around your thighs, your hips, and your butt area. And then there is a melon shaped body where the overall body is high on fat. Now, if you have the first body type, that means you are in the body type is more of a stress or in a sympathetic nervous mode, high blood sugar, always in stress, always rushed out. Second body type, which is P or something that we'll discuss today, is a body type which is all about estrogen dominance. And the third, where the overall body is has got accumulation of more fat, is a body type which is predominantly because of your slow metabolism. Means the nucleus in your cell is not getting enough energy to generate more energy, more ATP. So your overall metabolism has gone down. Now, the pear-shaped body, okay, it's a body which is carrying extra body fat around your thighs, hips, and the buttock area. Now, you'll have a smaller waist, you'll have a smaller bust, okay, but you'll have a broader these areas. Now, why does such situation happen? Because these persons, especially these females, are more on estrogen dominance. Now we know our body makes two types of predominant sex hormones for female: progesterone and estrogen. Now, as we head towards menopause, the production of these goes down. Especially progesterone starts to go down 5 to 10 years before your menopause, and then estrogen goes down. But even post menopause, you still make estrogen through other organs, through your skin, your adipose tissue, where you store fat. So if you're obese, if you have obesity, okay, obesity does not mean obese by look, but obesity by your BMI, by the amount of fat you in your body, you will you'll more prone to this body type. Okay. Now, people who have this body type or who are estrogen dominant witness certain symptoms which can tell you that yes, I am more prone to this, okay, which is heavy menstrual bleeding, okay, deliberating PMS, a lot of pain during the PMS, mood swings, and migraine. Predominantly happens a week before your cycle and to be maybe next 3 to 4 days after your cycle starts. Why does this happen? Because there your entire 28 cycle is divided into two phases: follicular phase, the first 14 days, and the luteal phase, the next 14 days. The mid of your luteal phase, which is around day 19 to day 21, uh, it's post that your progesterone starts to fall sharply and your estrogen falls, but not to that level where the progesterone falls. So they go simultaneously increased around day 19 to 21, then the fall is high. When this fall is high, there's a huge gap between what progesterone levels are and estrogen levels are. And that's your body become estrogen dominant. Now, how does the body become estrogen dominant? Two main reasons. One, you're not able to clear estrogen from your body. Okay. So every hormone, everything that you ingest in your body or consume has a life cycle. After this life cycle, it has to go out of your body. So if you're not able to remove that estrogen from your body, you'll have it gets reabsorbed. Okay. When it gets reabsorbed, you'll have more concentration of estrogen and less of progesterone. So you'll have estrogen dominance. Secondly, you're not able to metabolize. So we'll touch upon it in a minute. The second reason is you're taking a lot of xenoestrogens in your body. Xenoestrogens means drinking water from a plastic bottle, using plastic cookware, Teflon coated cookware, using a lot of cosmetics, chemicals. These all have got what we call xenoestrogen. These are something which mimics estrogen. So they get attached to the same receptor to which a normal estrogen will get, and hence it causes a lot of problem. And the third is when you're so the first one was you are not able to clarify or clear estrogen. Second is you're consuming a lot of estrogen in your body. Okay, now what happens is why estrogen uh, goes up is the body balances both estrogen and progesterone in a way that you have an optimal life. So if you produce estrogen, you also produce progesterone. If there is an imbalance in either of the two, okay, this will go down. Now, people who have high estrogen dominance are people who have got insulin sensitivity. So they are slightly higher on insulin levels. So the first marker for a female to will be to check his her fasting insulin. If fasting insulin is high, maybe the blood sugar is normal or slightly elevated, the person might have a tendency to move toward estrogen dominance. Okay. Now, estrogen is not a bad hormone. It is very much needed for a body. It has got more than 400 key functions in a body, but I'll try to just capture a couple of key functions that estrogen does for us. First, it increases metabolic rate. Okay, so that's why female are more hardworking than women is more hardworking than men physically as well. Okay, it improves insulin sensitivity. It regulates body temperature. So females have a more ups and downs in her body temperature throughout the 28 days of her cycle, which gets normalized after a person reach a menopause. It improves sleep. Okay, it reduces heart disease. Okay, it increases HDL level by up to 10 to 40%, and that is the reason females have far lesser heart attack or death caused by cardiovascular disease as compared to men. It decreases a very important lipoprotein which is known as LP small a, LP lipoprotein A, which is a subset of your LDL, the so-called bad cholesterol. Okay, it reduces heart disease and it reduces homocysteine level. Now, homocysteine is a sign of inflammation in your body, and as a result, if you see, female tends to live longer. They have lesser so-called metabolic disorders as compared to males. But the story is changing because we are retaining more estrogen in our body. We are not able to metabolize more hormones or estrogen, and we are not able to detoxify more estrogen out of the body. Now, there can be a couple of reasons. Okay, when you consume estrogen, okay, either through the cholesterol that makes it naturally, or through the food that you eat, or through the cosmetic, or through the environment that you are there, it has to get converted into a final form for it gets to get utilized and to get out of the body. Simple as that. Uh, how does this conversion work? This conversion works very similar to, let's say, how you make pickles, or how you ferment food. So you have a base, which is, let's say, a vegetable. Then you add certain catalyst, okay, certain enzymes which will increase the fermentation process. Okay, and then the whole vegetable gets pickled. Okay, similar to you have this estrogen, and there are certain enzymes or cofactors which increases this process. Now, these coenzymes, if you have excess, you'll have problems. If you have wrong enzymes, you'll have a problem. But if you have a right enzyme, you'll be able to detoxify better. Now, we call it as pathways, or 5A reductase or 5B reductase in the body, which is more of a technical term. Now, estrogen gets converted into three different. So when the estrogen is converted, it is converted into three parts. We call it 2, 4, and 16 OH. Okay. Now, you want more of your estrogen to go towards 2 OH, not towards 4 or 16, because the more a body makes take this path, you're more prone to, female are more prone to breast cancer, female are more prone to any other form of cancer or other estrogen related issue. But if you can divert this towards 2OH, okay, metabolite, you'll have a life which is more thriving. Okay. Now, if you don't do that, if 2H is not possible, and we are doing more of things that is moving us more towards 4 and 16, what will females face? And this is something a lot of women faces right now as we speak: depression, anxiety, agitation, weight gain, insulin resistance, headache, poor sleep, panic attacks, swollen breast, heavy periods, hypothyroid, fatigue, and irritability, mood swings. Something that if you think and sit back and think over it, you will say that most of the thing, most of us, most of the females face some point of time in the entire month. This means your body is making far more estrogen versus far more progesterone, or your body is ingesting far more estrogen than it should, or your body is not able to clear that much estrogen what it should. Okay, three things that can happen. Now, what will we do to fix this? That's a big question a lot of people will have. One of the reasons why we have estrogen dominance in female is because a lot of women are scared, okay, of eating enough grains and fiber. I repeat, you are scared to eat a lot of grains and fiber with the fear that you will put on weight. Okay, with the fear that, or with an expression that a lot of people are on a so-called keto diet or so-called other type of diet, you don't eat grains, you don't eat enough fiber. Okay, fiber binds estrogen out of the body. Grains have so-called B vitamins. B vitamins, B9, B6, B12 must for removing estrogen out of the body. So if your diet is low on B vitamins, okay, supplements will not work. Supplements will only work when your diet is sufficient and it is still, your body is still lacking on it. If you just add supplements, it's not gonna work. Okay, the body does not respond to any artificial stimulus beyond a point. So if your diet is low in grains and fiber, you're bound to have estrogen dominance. What else can cause? Poor lifestyle, absolutely. Poor sleep, okay. A lot of caffeine, okay. A lot of chemical-laden food, okay. Be it insecticide, herbicide, pesticide, non-veg or poultry, which is heavily used with antibiotics and estrogen injections. These causes havoc in the body. A lot of artificial flavors, a lot of colors, preservatives, basically a lot of processed food, canned food, packed food, which can lead to this problem. Okay, so the solution to it is, one, eat enough grains, whole grains, not the processed grains. So if you're eating flour versus you're eating dalia or you're eating wheat, I would say wheat, dalia, and last is flour. Similarly for all grains or pseudo grains or millets, whatever you are. Right? The moment you have more flour, you increase the surface area of the food, more insulin resistance. Okay, that's one. Second, if you're obese, if you have high body fat, you need to work towards reducing that. How? By managing to do exercise, by sleeping, enough hydration, managing your stress level. Third thing, increase cruciferous vegetables, vegetables which are high on sulfur. Sulfur has a process of detoxifying liver and removing estrogen from your body. Okay, have enough bile in your body. Okay, so garlic makes good bile. Okay, raw onion makes good bile. You want to add those in your diet. Okay, soy. Okay, if you get non-GMO types of organic soy, an amazing superfood to add in your diet. But what you get predominantly is GMO types of soy grains. So, or you want to just avoid that completely. It's better not to eat GMO or something which has been modified to than to eat. Okay. So while soy is amazing, you should look for certified organic non-GMO type soy. If you can get hands to it, definitely add in your diet. Flaxseed, a rich source of phytoestrogen. We tell all our clients to add flaxseed powder or flaxseed as a whole in their diet. Okay, and have a diet which has got substantial amount of protein. Okay, when I say substantial, you don't have to go on a high protein or a low carb diet. You need to have a balanced protein in your diet. Okay, every meal try to add some protein. Okay, not a female because they do not prioritize themselves. They do not prioritize their self care. They tend to eat whatever is left after feeding the family. Do not do that. Prioritize yourself. Prioritize eating sufficient protein in your diet. Protein can be from any number of sources. Whether it's a plant-based protein or animal-based protein does not make a difference. But you always want to look at a better source of protein. Okay, and certain supplements like I3C, Indian oil 3-carbon or DIM, which is Indian oil methane, is a good idea. Adding omega-3 rich food and supplement is a good idea. Having supplements which can give you enough B6, B12, B9 or folate will be a good idea. You would want to reduce your obesity, as I said. Certain food like pomegranate juice, amazing when it comes to managing those cofactors which increases the pickling process. So if you want to eat If you drink pomegranate juice, it will reduce those cofactors. It will not move. Green tea has a compound known as EGCG. Amazing when it comes to managing your estrogen dominance in your body. Dim, we said, berries, we said, any anti-inflammatory food. Turmeric would be one. Uh, then adding some dry ginger powder in your diet, salt would be a good option. So anything that increases the metabolism, anything which bounces estrogen out of your body, and anything which balances estrogen. So adding elephant yam, which is suran, in a diet would be a good option. Okay. Now, alternatively, a lot of people, what they do is they look at taking uh, transdermal progesterone cream that you rub and it gets absorbed. You would not want to do it because you always want to have a balance between estrogen and progesterone. So if you're highly estrogen dominant and you take those supplemental creams, that's okay. But if it is a slight dominance or you do not know your levels, you do not want to add until unless you know through a certain uh, practitioner or somebody who has knowledge in this field. Why? Because hormones are very, very potent. They are measured in picoliters, like few drops in a liter of water. Okay, so you do not want to mess with them, but you can definitely get educated about what is this pear shape, estrogen dominance, three reasons: high intake, low high intake or dominance, and third is poor detoxification. So if you fix these three, you will be moving toward that path naturally and converting more of your estrogen into 2OH versus 14 and 6. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and we'll catch up soon. Namaste.